Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here, we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
Just a little flashback from what transpired on January 6th, right before Donald Trump's mob decided to riot in the Capitol. Now, despite that and all the ample evidence we have of how everything went down, Trump is now trying to deflect the blame, of course, by pointing to the very person that the rioters were chanting about, Mike Pence, meaning the person they were chanting about hanging. Now, speaking to reporters on his plane on the way to his rally in Iowa, Trump said this: had he sent the votes back to the legislatures, they wouldn't have had a problem with January 6th. So in many ways, you can blame him, meaning Mike Pence, for January 6th. So he's saying, if Mike Pence just did what I told him to do, then I wouldn't have sent my mob over there to potentially hang him.
Yeah, no, that's a classic Donald Trump accidental admission.
No, it's not even accidental. It's not even accidental. Like, let me give you more of his statement. He also said, had he sent them back to Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, the states, I believe, number one, you would have had a different outcome. But I also believe you wouldn't have had January 6th, as we call it.
Jan 6, as we call it. Okay, so, I mean, Anna nailed it, right? He's like, well, if we had just done the fraud like Navarro and Bannon and Eastman cooked up, and we had pretended that we won those states by having the state legislatures, which are Republican, just switch it and saying I won instead of Biden, even though we have no evidence for it, well, then we could have done a nice official coup. And Pence, I can't believe he didn't do the coup, so that's why I had to send the rioters over to attack them and chant hang Mike Pence. Thank you for the confession. But does it matter? It doesn't matter. I mean, the Democrats are like, oh, we're trying to indict him. Oh, we're gonna get him on 4 different things. Oh, no, we couldn't do it in time.
Now, during the same interview, he referenced Pence's recent condemnation of Donald Trump's behavior in the lead up to January 6th. So we'll give you Mike Pence's statements in a moment, but here's what Trump had said. I guess he figured that being nice is not working. But you know, he's out there campaigning and he's trying very hard. And he's a nice man. I've known him. I had a very good relationship until the end.
Remember, Mark Meadows, according to a witness, said, the witness says to Meadows, Trump's chief of staff, hey, they're saying they want to kill the vice president, Mike Pence. And Meadows says about Trump, he knows, and basically said he had it coming. So he thought that Pence should be murdered. He's such, like, don't forget, like, he's such a goofball that it's sometimes hard not to laugh at his antics. But don't forget what a vicious guy he is.
Yeah, he's a terrible person, and he is incredibly vicious if you don't play ball. Even if you're incredibly loyal to him, but he perceives one of your tiny actions as going against him, he'll come for you. And that's certainly what happened with Pence, who was incredibly loyal to him. Now, what did Mike Pence say? So he was at an event. It was like a gridiron dinner or something like that. So it's a fancy politician dinner where he didn't have to deal with cameras, so we don't have video of him saying this. I'm sure that didn't play a role in what Pence said, because this honestly was like the harshest he was toward Trump. But apparently Pence over the weekend fired some jabs at the former president. He said that Trump was wrong to demand that he overturn the election, unequivocally wrong. He just had stronger statements than usual against Donald Trump during that dinner.
Look, he's tweaking him, and it's hilarious that he's tweaking him. And that's why Trump is saying he's a nice man, but I guess he's decided to get more tough. Right, and it's kind of a joke to Donald Trump. I want to read you guys the quotes that I was referring to because I don't want you to think that it's loose talk. Hutchinson was the witness that I was referring to, and she testified and worked in the Trump administration, said she told the chief of staff at the time, Mark, we need to do something more. They're literally calling for the VP to be effing hung. Mark Meadows responds, Mark had responded something to the effect of, you heard him, Pat. He thinks Mike deserves it. He doesn't think they're doing anything wrong. He thought that his own vice president deserved to be murdered by his followers.
Right.
Wow.
So with that said, we do have a video of what Mike Pence said, not of Mike Pence saying it because there weren't any cameras there, but here's what happened during that dinner.
Vice President Mike Pence had this to say at the annual Gridiron dinner about his former boss and some of his fellow Republicans. He said President Trump was wrong. I had no right to overturn the election, and his reckless words endangered my family and everyone at the Capitol that day. And I know that history will hold Donald Trump accountable. Make no mistake about it, what happened that day was a disgrace, and it mocks decency to portray it in any other way.
Way to put your big boy pants on, Pence. Proud of you, real proud of you.
So Pence is an interesting character because, look, to be fair to Pence, the Secret Service tried to get him out of the Capitol when all this was going down. They're like, look, your life's in danger. And he stayed. And he wanted to make sure that they didn't chase him out. So you gotta give him credit for that. And on that day, he was brave, okay? But when it comes to politics, they can't help themselves. They always act like cowards. So it's taken him over 2 years to say, I wish the president didn't want to have me killed. And why is he saying it now, guys? It's not just because he's running for president, which is hilarious. It's because now every Republican donor and all of right-wing media has turned on Donald Trump. So that's why Pence has gathered up his political courage to say, well, I didn't like it that I was about to be murdered by Trump supporters. Oh, congratulations, Mike. You finally did it. Bravo. That's why Trump is mocking him. Like, he's being a little tough now.
He should mock him. He's incredibly mockable. I don't give Pence any credit. He's incredibly weak. He enabled Donald Trump's bad behavior during the entirety of that administration until the very, very end when Trump's demands were so egregious and so wrong that he couldn't do it. So like, no credit to you, right? Chickens come home to roost. You enabled the bad behavior. You enabled what led to the mob. So congratulations. You know, I wouldn't want that to happen to anyone, but you gotta take some personal responsibility for your role in it as well. Let's just keep it real. Because in the lead up to the 2020 election, Mike Pence himself was spreading all sorts of lies about, the mail-in ballots, there's gonna be so much fraud. What happened, Mike? What happened?
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.